Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm breaking down exactly how I made $20,000 in 24 hours as a 19-year-old day trader. This was done in 2 days, 2 trades, and copy trading 5 50K Top Step accounts. Basically, over the course of the past 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, I was able to walk away with over $20,000 in trading profits. Obviously, it's a little bit different on funded accounts. I wasn't able to quickly withdraw that $20,000, but I'll get into that later in the video. Today, I want to go over the trades I took, the risk I used, why I used so much risk, and how I was able to capitalize over $20,000 in trading profits over the last 2 days. Basically, the reason I use so much risk on my funded accounts when I usually do not, I usually teach people to use proper risk management and things like that. So the risk management I used in this video is not encouraged by any means, but it is my last week on funded accounts. I am transitioning completely over to a live futures trading account via Tradovate. I actually deposited the certain amount of money, I'm not going to say in this video, today into that account, and it's supposed to be in the account within the next 3 business days, meaning I will be fully set up and trading that live account by this coming week, Wednesday. If you want to follow my journey and trade with me completely free every single day, join the team. The link is in my channel description. Like I said, it is completely free. Come trade with me live, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time every single day. I only trade for around 2 hours a day, so it doesn't take too much of your time. Real quick, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Gino. I go by Glow Trades. I live in Miami. I moved here about a year ago now. My lease actually ends in 2 months, December 7th, so I will be touring units that I potentially want to purchase. For those of you that don't know, I rent this unit currently, so follow my journey on that as well. Next vlog, I'll actually be filming tomorrow. I am touring with my buying agent. $1 million units in Miami, Florida. That's actually crazy to say out loud considering I'm only 19 years old and I don't charge a thing from you guys. So all my money is made completely from trading. So that's going to be really exciting. We are touring those condos tomorrow and that will be a whole separate vlog. So get ready for that one. I want to start this video by talking about funded accounts versus live accounts for those of you that might be starting on fundeds or don't know which one to pick or any type of questions you may have. Funded accounts are amazing for beginner traders. They're great for scaling. They're great for copy trading. They're great for making a lot of money with little capital to start. They're especially great when you're first starting to learn how to trade because obviously if you're risking only 50 to 100 bucks when you buy these funded accounts, it's not the same pain as if you're putting thousands into a live account, putting that money at potential risk, of course. I even built out my entire mentorship funded university based around funded accounts. Of course, you could tell by the name, because funded accounts are so good for these beginner traders to start rather than risking their own capital. I want to start by saying the main 2 prop firms I used, and by the way, I'm not affiliated with any prop firm. I don't have a promo code for you guys or anything like that. This is strictly off what I like the most: Top Step and My Funded Futures. My Funded Futures old rules are a lot better than the new ones. They used to let you trade 3 accounts, 50K fundeds. Once you pass those, you're able to copy trade them, of course, and you're taking 90% of all profits made per payout, meaning if I get paid out $1,000, I'm taking 900, Top Step's taking 100. They just switched from a 90-10 split to an 80-20 split, meaning I'm now losing 10% more of each and every payout I get from My Funded Futures. That is a big reason that I switched over to Top Step recently. I've been copy trading these 5 Top Step accounts for just a little while now. I've gotten 2 payouts and I'm going on my 3rd, which is actually going to be today, funny enough. And since this last week was my last week on these funded accounts, I decided to go for the biggest payout possible, which is $5,000, I believe, on each account, making it a $25,000 payout, which I will be receiving today. Now, anyways, enough with the yap. Let's get into how I actually did this. Basically, the first trade I took was this Wednesday. I obviously take all my trades on NQ. I rarely touch ES, which is the S&P 500. For those of you that don't know, 99.9% of all my trades are taken on NASDAQ. Funny enough, the past 2 trades I've took that's actually made me this $20,000 in the past 24 hours, NASDAQ and ES were both trading all-time highs. Both of these trades were shorts. The reason that's funny is because when we are at all-time highs, we are as bullish as it possibly gets in the market. Of course, we are making new all-time highs basically every day this week. The first trade I took, which was on Wednesday, September 17th, was a short. We had an SMT divergence at all-time highs, meaning ES swept all-time highs and NASDAQ did not. So that was our first bearish confluence of this trade. Then right at market open, we inversed the 5-minute fair value gap. That was my second bearish confluence. Then the S&P 500 came about 4 points from London low, so I knew that was our draw on liquidity of the day. NASDAQ just kind of manipulated a little bit lower. Then we ended up retracing into our 5-minute inverse fair value gap, which is when I knew I was going to enter the short. We had perfect risk to reward on this trade. I entered, basically spent no time in drawdown, and ended up smacking right when ES took out London low. I ended up taking profit right when ES swept London lows, not NASDAQ, even though I entered this trade on NASDAQ. That is because I wanted to protect myself from the bullish SMT that we were creating right when ES swept London low. My partner, however, Samu Trades, did not take profit when ES swept London low. He was waiting for NQ to actually do the same, and it punished him because he ended up getting his trailing stop hit. Obviously, nonetheless, he capitalized on the trade, made bank this week just like I did, but that just goes to show trade management, you have to always be watching out for SMTs and other confluences fighting against your trade. This trade made me over $13,200 across 5 accounts, meaning I made around $2,650 per Top Step account. That was huge because it got me more than halfway to the 20,000 mark. The next day, Thursday, September 18th, which was yesterday, I caught another short, same concept. This time, NASDAQ swept all-time highs and ES did not, so we had that bearish SMT for us once again. Then we got an inverse. I entered on NASDAQ, spent about no time in drawdown, and ended up cashing over $7,000 on the day. $1,500, I believe even a little bit more on each Top Step account, making it $20,000, I believe even a little bit more in only 24 hours at 19 years old. This has been mind-blowing for me. This is going to be the biggest payout I've ever got on my Top Step accounts. Of course, it's the biggest payout you can get. It's max payout. Now, I know what all of you are thinking. Glow, what are you going to do with that $20,000 that you were able to make in just 24 hours? Are you going to go spend it? Are you going to go on a yacht? Are you going to hit the club? What are you going to do? And I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what any responsible trader would do. I'm going to put about half that money right into the live account that I just deposited into. I'm going to put half of the payout right in there. That way I'm able to trade and build capital using the money that I made from funded accounts. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of that money, which is the other half, so around 10,000 on each side, 10,000 into the live account, 10,000 into my high yield savings account. This account makes me money each year, obviously a lot slower than if I was trading it myself, but a lot more secure. I highly recommend for all traders that you use your payout money wisely, meaning reinvest it into your trading so you're able to make more money going forward, and also, of course, save money and pay your bills and put money into savings accounts. That way you're never panicked in case something happens. Of course, trading's an up and down game, so sometimes those downs can be really low. You just want to make sure that you have enough cushion saved up from these payouts you're getting on these fundeds to where if anything goes wrong, you're not panicking. Also, let me be clear, I was going max risk on these Top Step accounts. Obviously not quite max risk. Max risk is around 5 minis, which is just overdoing it in my opinion on 50K funded. You could basically blow the entire account pretty quickly. Another thing is I have buffer on these funded accounts, meaning I've been trading these Top Step accounts from before it was only my last week on funded accounts, meaning I have been stacking buffer while getting paid out. This buffer means a lot because it means even if I use more risk than is recommended on funded accounts to actually keep you profitable, I'm still going to be okay because I have that buffer level in case I lose a big trade or anything goes wrong. Again, if you want to see me do this every single day live, now that I will be on a live account, of course, it's going to be even better. I do this for free every single day. The link is in my channel description. You could come trade with me and the team every day, 9:30 a.m. Not to get motivational, but when I moved to Miami alone, I had about a year of trading experience under my belt and basically no income from it. I was working 3 jobs just to pay the bills. I was working at a hotel in Miami Beach about 15 minutes away called The Addition. I was also barbacking at a restaurant called Giselle right down the street and doing valet on the side. And it's crazy how much your life can change in just 1 year. 1 year from today, I was looking at apartments to rent. I ended up obviously picking this one in downtown Miami and I was still working 3 jobs. Just a year later, I'm now teaching around 2,000 students each and every day how to trade and making money that I never thought was possible from just funded accounts. Now that I'm moving to a live account, I can't even imagine the possibilities. Obviously, I'm going to be starting with very low risk, maybe risking 2 to 3 micros per trade, and then upping the risk as I build capital, of course. For those of you that don't know how I actually got into teaching students how to trade, not just trading myself, and why I do it in general, it's honestly just because of my partner Samu. About 7 months ago now, early January, we had the idea, why don't we teach people how to do what we do? I'm sure they'd love to learn from us. It'll make us a lot more disciplined. We'll have a reason to wake up early every morning. We'll have a reason to work a little bit harder on an actual business. It's been a crazy journey so far, and me and my partner Samu have came so far. We went from trading with just 5 to 10 people every day to now trading with over 100 people live for free every single day. And I'm now able to say I made $20,000 in 24 hours after not even making that per month working 3 jobs. Learning a high income skill like trading and actually putting my all into it is the best thing I have ever done. I now no longer need to focus on stupid problems like if I'm gonna be able to pay groceries this week, but now get to focus on problems like, hey, what do I do with my $25,000 payout that I'm about to receive? And I know this channel is small right now, but I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into all of my videos, showing support, liking the videos, commenting on them, keeping us running, keeping me motivated each and every day. And I especially want to thank all of the people that trade live with me every single day, constantly showing support, constantly making money with me, constantly telling me how we can make the community and as well as my social media accounts much better. So I just want to give an extra special thank you to you guys. But anyways, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys what's possible when opportunity is mixed with discipline. And that's exactly what happened here. It's my last week on funded accounts. I was able to use max risk and my discipline as a trader, my constant work that I put into my mind and my mentality as a trader, as well as my actual strategy has finally paid off. And I was able to have one of my biggest weeks trading ever thanks to this opportunity. Now I will have around $10,000 to reinvest into my live account. Obviously, it's a little bit less of a payout overall when we're including taxes, but y'all get what I mean. Anyways, you guys, thanks for staying tuned. Subscribe, like, comment down below, and you guys have a great weekend.